Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It is July 9th, and this will be our chart lesson for the day. And once again, we're starting a new month. Actually, I think we had one day in this month. I believe we've already traded a day in this month. Yes, the second. We traded the second. So we actually started this. Most of y'all probably had 2 days if you traded Thursday or Friday or 3 days or whatever. I went ahead and took the whole week off, went on a fishing trip, had a nice trip, caught some nice fish, and glad to be back. So, anyway, it's going to take me a day or two to catch up. I'm a little bit behind on emails, so if you're looking for an answer for something, I'm going to try to get through as many of them today as I can, and I'll wrap up the rest of them tomorrow, and I should be back on track. So, what looked like was going to be a quiet day today, I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but it was steadily up the whole day. And so we had a fairly decent trading day. There's not a lot of trades in here, but most of them are to the upside. There's a few to the downside once you would have expected that we might get a reversal. We had a real steep, what I played as a spike in channel. Then we went flat, and then we looked like we were just going to be flat. But then from here, we took on off again. But we had this flatter channel, but we got a break here. And then there's actually a couple legs up. But I would have measured this first leg right here and then started the second one from right there, and that would have put us up there about right where we're trading now. You can see we're in the overnight, but we didn't quite get there during the day, and we shot on up there now, so we'll see what happens. But that would have given you a target, and that might have kept you in this once you had your break here and you got a new high. But that's really one leg. So it's not surprising at all that we backed up and we made another leg up, and I didn't even measure that leg, but let's just measure that one. Here's your first leg, and where would your second leg put you? Right up here about where, a little bit further than what we actually got before the close. So that's another way to look at it as well. I'm gonna get those off there just so we don't junk our chart up too much or dirty up the chart and make it too hard to realize, to see everything. But there's really a shorter term trend right here, and then you also get another trend channel off of this, then you get a correction, move to a new high, and there's actually two more legs there. Measure that one, and this one's got a nice two-legged correction, so they're usually pretty accurate, and that gets you to here, but we still are going higher. So we're pushing up pretty strong here in the overnight, so not sure if there's something going on there or what, but anyway. So not a lot of trades. It won't take long to talk about them today, but let's talk about the trades, and we'll get through today, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger. Again, you can see we had a little spike in channel here early on, but by the time we got, you come in around 7 o'clock, it's already going sideways. But notice how you make this low here. You test it once, twice, and you get a second entry long. There's a new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. Plenty of room to get out. That's a great entry. It does confirm the trend line. This actually confirmed it, and then this comes back and gives it a double test. So that's a good place to enter. And of course, where does it go? Straight to the upper side before it turns down. Generally, you want to wait on the lower high. You had a lower high right here, but we were going sideways so much there. I felt like I wanted to see another attempt, and even here I really wanted to make this green, because even by the time this one ends, now you're still kind of going sideways, but you are making lower closes each time there, so that's why I kind of like that one. I'd be very hesitant to enter there, maybe here, and again, there's not a whole lot of room before that EMA, but you would expect it to try to go the other side, but there could be a midline in there if we're going higher here and this channel is correct. And if that's the case, you may bounce off the EMA or the midline and go higher. So I went really back and forth about whether or not that one should be red or not, but you could actually look at this as a second entry short because it's a first entry, and then you got a little double matching high and it broke higher again. So Really, the reason I kind of like that one is it's you could treat that like a failure outside the little congestion area right there when it broke higher. So if you entered here and you had your stop one tick above, you would have got stopped out. So that one's kind of tricky, but there's not much you can do about it. It's just really not a good entry. And really, I'd really almost want to make that one green. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it red, but because that little break higher gives you maybe a major high, and so it gives you a little bit more reason to want to enter it. It does make a pretty good move down after that, but this would be your minimum target to the other side of the channel, and it actually goes lower than that. So, but anyway, you're moving down, you bounce here, you come back, you bounce again. But notice how that trend line's still holding, and you finally close outside and you move down. And this is where I'm guessing some of you may have got tripped up, and it would be real easy. Again, there's nothing you can do here because it looks like a great failed second entry short. It looks like it's bouncing right off the key entry point, but we don't have a new low yet. So that's the only thing that would keep you out of this, is that you don't have a new low yet. And then of course it runs down. It actually pushes down one more time before it bounces. And I'm not going to go short right there. Um, I'm definitely not going to go short there right into the EMA, because you may get that one little tick down and then it takes off. But you don't. It pushes down, it comes back, and you get a little breakout pullback short, because this is almost congestive. There's almost, notice how we're just kind of going sideways there. So that's another reason to be a little bit concerned about going long maybe there. That one's just tempting. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody could get fooled there. So it's easy to see after the fact, but if you got fooled there during real trading, it's just one of those trades. The only key really you got is that you haven't got a new low in yet. And notice once we got a new low, it reversed. This is really the first break outside, and it tried to make a new low, but it didn't make one. It's a couple of ticks shy, and then it made one here. And of course, you don't have a very good signal bar there. You got a decent one here, but now you're right back into the EMA. But at this point, I would wait on a reversal pattern, because I'd want to know for sure I had a trend confirmed in the other direction. And notice what happens. It pushes through the EMA. First entry, pushes up, gives you a second entry short. It fails, gives you a nice bullish bar that bounces off the EMA, confirms that short-term trend line. That's where you want to go long. Again, it still takes a few minutes to take off, but it takes on off. And I just don't see any decent entries from there on. You're getting too close to the highs here. Again, you're just a lot of little bitty tiny bars kind of going sideways. Of course, that oftentimes leads to a big trend, but I'd want something to correct and come back to the EMA first. But now you've got a break and a new high in place. And even though you bounce here and you come back and confirm this, I'd be willing to go long there. But I wouldn't want to go long until I got that reversal type pattern that says, hey, we're probably going higher. And notice what happens. We push down, we push up, we get a first entry, then we get a second entry, it fails, and it actually goes lower and turns and goes out the other side. You could go long as soon as it broke above that bar, or you could wait for this one to close and put a buy stop in there. This one's right into those highs, so you got to think about that. But with that trap and the fact that it went lower first and turned and went up the other side, I'm going to take that trade, because we're probably going higher. And you can look at this and tell that's pretty much one leg, so we may get a whole other leg from there. We end up chopping around a lot before we do, but we do end up pushing on up and attempting that next leg, as we talked about earlier. And then of course we start working lower, and you get a close outside, you get a first entry long, second entry long, and notice how we're kind of going sideways. That's a fairly bearish bar. Again, I went back and forth whether that one should be green or red. But people are probably going to be thinking long there, and so it's probably going to trap some people. But when it comes back and gives you the double test right here, definitely enter in there. This one's, let's just do it this way. Let's make this one green if you want to be a little aggressive. And then when you're ready, if you know, once it comes back again and gives you a second entry short there, because the first entry pullback second entry, failed second entry long, nice bearish bar, double test of this level, double top. We're probably going to try to make a new low here because, again, you got that trend line. And it looks a lot like this one. So that's what you got to also look at, is it's a repeat pattern pretty much. So it's probably going to act like this one did here. And, of course, it does. It shoots on down, and then it reverses. And this is like another repeat pattern from this. So I like going long right there. And, of course, that gets you into the 2 o'clock hour. So not a lot of trades, and after thinking about it, I decided I wanted to change a couple of them. But you could really, this one's close. You could argue for it to be red because of that repeat pattern if you saw that. If not, I'd probably leave it green. But that's what I saw today. Again, not a great trading day, not a bad trading day. Just there were a couple of entries here that would have, this was right out of the gate early, nice entry. This one wasn't too bad, and this one took off again too. It does come back and get the break-even stop before long, but it still gets 3 or 4, 5 points, something like that there. So you had to sit and be patient today and just wait on something to happen. So maybe it's a little slow after the holiday. Maybe it'll pick up as we start to get towards the end of July into August and the fall. That's generally when the market picks back up. So hopefully we're getting close again. Don't forget, we did have some pretty good volatility over the summer that was a little bit unusual compared to most summers. So, but I would expect things to continue to remain a little bit slow off and on through July, just simply because of the vacation time. People, a lot of traders are on vacation. A lot of them take a month or two off during the summer, and I would expect that, as usual, probably pick up in the fall. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to try to read a few more emails, and so I don't have so many to catch up to finalize tomorrow. But I'll try to get a few more tonight in before I call it a day. But I'm going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.